going on, everybody? Welcome to the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. I'm Niners Jess, along with Ty Austin. Maddie B is inactive tonight, and your girl Bex will be joining us in a few minutes. Ty, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It is Wednesday. We
Good.
are just about 24 hours away from San Francisco 49ers football against the LA Rams.
Heck
How are you
yeah.
feeling?
I feel good. I feel all right. No
What's up,
worries.
throwback?
What's going on, throwback? Yeah. Uh Ready to see some 49ers football once again. Second week in a
Yes,
row. You know?
yes. Um, I knew they were going to go out and knock the snot out of the Bears.
Uh-huh.
It was nice to see a good team win, even though it was the
Exactly.
Bears. Although, you know what? It's an NFL team. We got the dub. Um, 5 of 6 in the red zone against the number one red zone defense. I think that was pretty
Yep.
good, if
That's
I
a
do
win,
say so
baby.
myself.
Yes, indeed.
First quarter, we held the Bears to 9 total yards, which
Yep.
is phenomenal for this defense. Um, there's definitely a lot of points. George Kittle did well. Actually, he did
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal as he always
Yeah.
does. Isaac Orendo, Jawan Jennings, Yatir Gross Matos, who earned defensive NFC Defensive Player of the Week this week,
Yep.
which I thought was pretty cool, the first of his career.
Yes,
Um,
indeed.
Ty, what are your thoughts from this game?
Like I said, it was 49ers football. I think it's the first time all season long that it looked like 49ers football from beginning to end, right? Defensively, they were hunting, getting after it. What's up, David? Um, Clicking on all cylinders. You saw contributions from many different people, which is always good. And offensively, they didn't shoot themselves in the foot and they did what they wanted to do. They ran the ball, threw the ball, and most importantly, scored the ball. They got into the end zone. I've been tough on the offense for weeks now. I said they need to get it together and actually score the ball. They need to get in the end zone. And they did that. And it wasn't just in a spurt, because we've seen games like that where, okay, like the Dallas game in the third quarter, they had 3 touchdowns, but that was the only time they scored throughout the game. This time it was first quarter, second quarter, third. They kept it going, kept the foot on the gas. And that's what we needed to see. And I don't care, people, oh, it's the Bears, screw that. We did what we were supposed to do. So I feel great about it. I think it was a great game all around from all parties.
We are still alive, which
Yes,
is
indeed.
awesome. Um, for me, I think, you had mentioned, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, we were, all phases were great throughout.
Hmm.
And usually for me, sometimes like it's the third quarter that really like lags. I
Yeah,
don't
we
know
hit a
what it is. It's
lull.
just, yeah, like it's
Yes.
something about the third quarter that is just, we don't really do well. So to see them come out and play 4 quarters of football was
Hmm.
just awesome. And I'm so glad that Demo, Kittle, and Purdy spoke with the team,
Yep.
to light a fire under their butts. And, because to be honest, our backs were against the wall.
Yeah.
Every game now is a must-win game. Every game now is like being in the playoffs, being one and done. And this game tomorrow night is a must-win.
Yep. Completely. So and they're all like that. They've been like that for a while now. Just we didn't win them, unfortunately. Right? We came up on the short end of the stick. But now it's like, and I like the players only meeting. I like the
Mhm.
guys who stepped up and spoke because sometimes you need that. And I'm pretty sure the message was like, hey, we're not playing to our standards, right? Like, we got to do what we know we can do and do it for 4 quarters. So I'm just so happy with just everything that led into the game and the actual results of the game.
Alberto wants to know if we think Tashawn Gibson is going to get some reps tomorrow.
I say yes. I think
I think so too.
we're getting a return of Fred and Dre. I think we get a return of Gip and Huff. A little blast from the past, only a year ago, but a little blast from the past there, right? You put your most experienced guys on the field in these type of situations. So yeah, and it's funny you say that. I just ran my Madden sim, and I put Gip in as the starting safety alongside of Huff. So yeah.
It was noted that Malik Mustafa will be out,
Mm-hmm.
which I was kind of surprised because I don't think he didn't leave the game on Sunday. I
No.
think he left like at certain points because we saw
Yeah.
Jair Brown in there, but
Yeah.
other than that, he was in. So that was
He
kind of a
finished.
surprise for
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Trent Williams is out. Maybe a bit of good news. Nick Bosa is questionable. Isaac Guerendo is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think Isaac will get back out there. He'll do what he wants to do. If you saw him on the sidelines on Sunday, he was like jogging and moving and
Mhm.
doing what he could to get out there. So I kind of think with the game in hand, we got Patrick Taylor who can tote the rock. Like, let's keep him out as a precaution because it's a short week. So that's the case. All signs were pointing to them holding out Nick Bosa for this game, if possible. So the fact that he's not ruled completely out, I say he plays. And I can see him just being in there on pass rush situations. Like treat him like the way we treated D Ford. Like just come in on pass rush. That's what we need you for the most. Right? Just get after the quarterback. And I think that'll help him you know, not get injured anymore if he's just in situational football.
Yeah, they said he was close to playing last on Sunday.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah. So that seems to be a bit of good news.
Mm-hmm.
Because we definitely need him out there. Um, I just think on top of Dre Greenlaw coming back, which a lot of people seem to think that he wouldn't be back tomorrow, but it would seem that all signs point to him playing tomorrow, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But with Dre coming back, and if we have Nick Bosa in a limited fashion, I think that boosts the defense.
Yep.
But our offense has to continue. I know it was, a sample size against the Bears, but we just got to continue.
Yeah.
Their defense is ranked number 26th in the league. We got to take advantage of that.
Exactly.
So what are your, I wasn't going to, actually, let me ask you this first. You kind of answered this sort of,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
are there reasons for excitement going forward? Because there's still a lot of fans that are like, let's tank, let's get a good draft pick.
Yeah.
Other fans are like, the both of us, like, we're still in this thing, we're still alive. I
Yeah.
mean, so what are your thoughts?
I'm excited, right? Like I'm excited to see the guys just coming back together, seeing a full complement of players on the field, being about out there doing their thing. Like I just don't want to give up. Like what? That's crappy. It's just crappy. Let's just give up and prepare for the draft. No, there's still football to be played, and as long as we're in it, we should compete because you never know. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited that guys are coming back. I'm excited that we had this game where we were clicking on all cylinders, and it's something to look forward to, right? It brings you excitement for the rest of the season. And shoot, stranger things have happened. like why not? Shoot, let's go for it. You always go for the win. So I'm happy. I'm happy like things are falling into line. If you look at it, things are kind of falling into line for us to make a run. So let's do it.
Yeah. Now's the time. It's like Brock says, like we gotta go. We
Hmm.
gotta do this. It's not the best scenario,
Mm,
um, but it is what it is. This
yeah.
is the point that we're at, and yeah. So I wanted to get your thoughts on Debo's tweets. I wasn't gonna touch on this because
Yeah.
it seems like everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Um, but what are your thoughts on what he tweeted? And here we are coming off of a win, a good
Yeah.
team win, and all of a sudden he's just tweeting out there that you know everybody knows what he tweeted. But go ahead, Ty.
Yeah.
Debo, are we talking about Debo?
We are
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about Debo. What's going on, Bex?
Yeah. What's going on, Bex?
Oh,
Um.
I'm having like the worst work week ever.
Oh.
Just like, isn't it supposed to be quiet? Like it's almost Christmas. Go away, everybody. No,
Never the case, right?
we're
That's how
having
I
like
feel.
a whole crisis. We're about to lose a couple $1 million worth of business if we don't have reach registrations in Europe. And my boss is like calling me at 7:30, and I'm like, bro, we talked about this every fucking day this week. Do we have to have another call tonight? And I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. Anyway, let's talk some
Nah.
football. Yes.
Yeah.
Cleanse the palate.
Right. So
Yeah,
actually,
man.
before we get to Debo, Becca, I want to get your thoughts on the Bears game.
Yeah.
The Bears game, I mean, I thought like it looked like a good game for us. That's a stout, healthy defense that we went up against, and we went out there and I was really surprised at how well we played. I mean, Ben Barch was awesome because he did some things on the left side that I was really worried about. I was like, okay, Ben, that's going to really, to me, was like, that's good. That's going to be really important. And then Spencer Burford had to come in for him. I don't even know what his status is. I honestly haven't had a chance to look at statuses. Is he
It's a
going?
high ankle sprain.
Yeah, high ankle sprain, and he's been put on IR.
Oh, Jesus. So we're back to Spencer Burford for this week?
Actually, Aaron Banks cleared
Aaron Banks?
concussion protocol, so it'll be Jalen Moore, Aaron Banks.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Why did I think he came in?
He did come in.
He did. Okay. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, it was Spencer Burford who came in. But no, I mean, even after he went out, I felt like whoever came in, and I thought it was Spencer, really, really, held it up there, because that was, I was like, oh, here goes the left side, and everything is going in the handbasket. And even like the first part of the second half, when they started to run on us and have a lot of success, I was like, we need to knock it down right now. And it seemed like it took us kind of a mid-ish to the end of the third quarter to make adjustments, but we ended up stopping the run pretty good. Like they didn't get 100 yards rushing, I don't think, on us. So I think that's what I thought I saw was, here we go, making adjustments and everyone stepping up and leveling up and playing to their highest potential. And yeah, good shit. But we got the Rams with two very qualified rushers who are going to give us a lot to handle this week. So that's what I see. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
the
are
Bears
you
only
excited?
rushed for 68 yards.
Right, 68. I was like, it was less than 100. I know they did not rush on us well.
No, they didn't. Are you excited after this win?
Excited. I would say I am cautiously optimistic because the Rams also came off a very big win and had two really, really, Puka Nacua had a great day, and what the hell's his name? The other running back also had a pretty good day. I just don't know. I mean, I think we really have to have the run game in check. We can't do that, and special teams. We cannot let them block punts and turn those into touchdowns. All of that stuff. It's not not going to go well if we don't keep the special teams in check. It's going to get ugly. That's how they're going to win. I mean, I really think that it's going to come down to Moody and field goals, or some like little infinitesimal amount of points. That's how it's gonna. Yeah, it's a division game. It's not going to be a blowout. It's not going to be a bomb for bomb kind of game like they just had. This one's going to be one in the trenches.
You know, I don't know, because I kind of feel like the Rams think we're kind of like down and out. Because like even their because after the game, like in the locker room, like people were posting that, like Matthew Stafford was like, all right, let's go get them Niners, or whatever he said. So I kind of think they think that we're just kind of done.
Well, I don't disagree. I think everyone's discounting us, but we got Hufanga back, and he played pretty well. Ben Bartch played really well, subbing in, and now, we've got all the extra layers coming in. But I think our guys really stepped up. And, initially that third quarter, we were in our little group text going, we better stop this run right now. This is not going well. And we did make adjustments, and we did start to shut that back down. And we're going to have to do it. They're going to send the run game at us hot and heavy. They saw that it worked really well with Buffalo. I mean, obviously the weather played a really big part in the Buffalo game, but also Green Bay. They ran it right up our throats. So they're going to try it. And if we can stop it, they're going to have to go one-dimensional. And that's how we will take over and we will win. But if we let them establish a really good run game, Stafford's going to dink and dunk all over us, and we're going to be on the couch. That's where we're going to end up. So I really think that's how it comes down. Like, we have to stop the run game.
Tony said that last week you saw Kyle went back to basics, and it worked.
There weren't a lot of penalties either. I didn't feel like we got called for 1,000 freaking stupid penalties either. So that also helps, where we're not like advancing the ball for them on here's a gift. Merry Christmas, right? Yeah. That was another thing.
And he says that finally the D-line rushed as a unit together and they got 7 sacks. Granted, it's the Bears, but you saw the production.
Yeah.
They got home, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you know what? I think they needed that. No Nick Bosa. Ty and I were discussing that. Nick Bosa's questionable. Trent Williams is out. Isaac Guerendo's questionable. Malik Mustafa is out.
Out too. Like I haven't even seen any of this.
Yeah, because
I thought
like
played.
With like a chest shoulder issue. So it's going to be Huff, probably Jair Brown, Tashawn Gibson. Yes, Tony, I agree with this. The Niners need to make Matthew Stafford uncomfortable. Because the more we make him uncomfortable, the more, we can get some turnovers. And he'll have a bad game. Yes, and Kittle got the ball. I was very excited about that.
A lot.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Even in the screen game, he got the ball. I was just like, wow, look at that.
We're just like, they have no answer for him today. Like, how is this happening?
Yeah, they really had no answer for him, and it was just you know, it was good to see. Like I always say, every single show, good things happen when the ball's in George Kittle's hands all the time.
Taking the dirt.
And he definitely needs to be. I mean, he's their best receiver besides Juwan Jennings.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, JJ also had a lights out game. Like,
He did.
played his
He did.
heart out.
He's playing that, you know, that spot really well.
Yeah.
And just the first touchdown he had when Brock just delivered the ball like right in the bucket. It was like right there. It was perfect. David says, name a Rams DB or linebacker, please. I can't either.
Akello Witherspoon, who may start on tomorrow
is
night.
The only one that came to mind for me to die.
Akello Witherspoon may start tomorrow night.
He's still with the Rams?
He's still with them.
He's still there.
Wow.
And one of their corners will be out for the game, so he may start.
Their tight end's going to be out too.
Yes, the tight end is out also, but that's about it.
David
They're
says,
pretty
who?
Healthy.
He's like, who?
Yeah,
A killer
exactly.
who? You ain't
That
a
guy.
killer or nothing. You ain't a killer in my Niners.
All right, so let's talk a little Debo.
Yep.
Actually, first, if you want to get your custom Niners gear, go to faithfulgear209.com. Made for the faithful by the faithful. Robert does a good job making merch, so go get your stuff at faithfulgear209.com. Yeah, Tony's right. They're playing well together. Screw the names.
There you go. That's what counts. So
If you don't know their names and we're winning, that's a good sign.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Debo Samuel. We all know what he tweeted. What are your thoughts, Ty?
it's typical Debo behavior to me. I mean, we know how he gets, right? Remember in his contract year, the crap he put out there, and he's always saying something, doing something. It's like, dude, just let it go. Just go out and play ball. Like, you getting into teammates' faces, telling them to lock in. You need to get out there and lock in your damn self. Just go out there and play. So it's unfortunate we gotta see it and go through it, but that's just who he is, man. It's just puts a stain on the win, to be honest with you. But I ain't gonna let it bring me down. Go Niners.
You know, we got a good team win, and then all of a sudden he tweets that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what are you doing, man? You know, and it's never for me, like, in my opinion, it's never he does anything wrong. It's always somebody else.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessary. You know, obviously Kyle, George, Brock, they're all gonna, you know, have his back, you know, and I think Brock actually like handled it like pretty well, you know, in his answer at the press conference.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony's right. Me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk. So get out there and you're back there receiving balls, step up and run something back. Run it back and show us what you're made of. But I mean, he's also not wrong. If no one's targeting him or if they're shutting him down in coverage, what do you want the team to do? Like, they're gonna go to somebody else. So yeah, but don't be a crybaby about it. Just be like, look, we won the game, right? We won the game. Let's stop talking about what I did. We won the game. And shut it down. Don't look like a crybaby on social media, because that's what it comes across as. And you're right, Tony. Lock in. Hello. Everybody needs to
lock in.
Everyone needs to lock in.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Callie Young says tweeting that after a victory comes across as selfish to me. Yeah, I agree. Tony says, get open and you will get it. Alberto says that he doesn't want to see the captain's patch on his jersey if he's a Niner next season. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Ooh, I don't know about that. I mean, if he's bringing something to the locker room and the players respect him and he's got advice and helping rookies, then no, they're going to elect him as captain if that's who they want as their captain. Otherwise, then, that's not for us to decide or figure out. That's for the teammates and the players to choose. So, yeah, that's not for us. We don't know what they say in the locker room.
Yeah, this is just the one time this season he's done something like this. And like he has been out there battling. Let's not forget that was a game earlier in the year. Dude had pneumonia, took the field, tried to go out there, do it all he had, give it all he had. Right? Just doing what he could for the team. So it's not like he's been selfish the entire season.
Right.
It's just here we are now with, our backs up against the wall. That's not the attitude we want to see from any of our players. So, I'm sure he can be talked to, think about this and be like, all right, I need to be better as a player, as a team leader, and let's move forward. And hopefully that's what we'll see.
Exactly.
Leaders don't do that, though.
They don't.
True.
Because it was after one of the losses where he just he didn't want to talk to the media. And then with this situation, I mean,
well, you also have to remember they're young. They're 20-something. They haven't lived a whole lot of life, and leadership skills come with age and with experience and those kind of things. So when you see these guys be emotional and get like that, I'm like, it's not a good look. But also, you're 20, whatever, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. Like, you haven't really lived a lot of life. And sometimes I just go, well, there it is. That's the emotional youngin' side of them coming out, that they haven't quite gotten the grasp on how to be a real diplomat at the podium or on social media and not put those things out there like that. But I don't know. Hopefully he's better in the locker room at mentoring the kids that are younger than him. The babies, the 21, 2, 3-year-olds.
I know it. You know what? It actually makes me feel old.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, when you think about it in reality, he's a kid. He's a damn kid trying to be a leader for other kids. So, when you put it into perspective, some of these young men come from difficult places where they may not have been taught a whole lot of the soft skills and those kinds of things. So these emotional things, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, he's young. He's just acting out and acting his age. And sometimes I'm like, could you dial it back? You're supposed to be a leader on the team. But yeah, goes both ways, I guess.
Yeah.
Berto says you don't see Purdy putting anyone under the bus, and he's young. He takes accountability every time.
And you're right. Some people have had a different environment and temperament, and we're all different. There's a saying that says, the same hot water that softens the potato hardens the egg. You just don't know how people react to pressure and how they react to criticism. So everyone's gonna take that differently and become a different person when they're under that same pressure. So yeah.
He needs to stay off social media.
Well, you're right. Stay off. You're gonna embarrass yourself.
Online.
So you should have people in your corner who are advising you accordingly. If you're gonna be a soft potato and throw like those things out there, then absolutely your people need to be like, do not tweet. You are not, everything has to run through someone to approve it. So you don't look like an idiot or an ass. And you're right, Ty, like you need people to advise you accordingly, but it's true. They're emotional. It's a lot for them. You know, they're carrying up, I don't know, I guess maybe an inflated level of stress because people are criticizing them. And a lot of people are criticizing them. Imagine Kyle Shanahan. like he must not look at anything, because why would you? The entire universe, half of it is like, fire Kyle. He sucks. Yeah. He's terrible. Would you want to wake up every day and read that in your face, that you suck, you're terrible, you're bad at your job? What does that do to your mental health and your confidence? And you know, I mean, they're human beings. So Debo getting a little emotional. It's what he does. Wish he didn't do it. Needs better people around him to go, don't post. Sit on it for 48 hours first.
Yeah. Steve-O says it's a wide receiver thing. AJ Brown has the same agent and he did it in the same week. I think Debo and AJ are playing together next year.
Oh boy.
You never know.
Yeah.
They could. But hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I'm thinking like, what team would take both of them on with the same agent, paying them both the same money? But stranger things have happened in this league. You just never know.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And, you know, and now like Philly with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, like they're no longer friends, and, you know, and all this stuff in the locker room, and boy, let's see. People just saying hi to Sin. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the Rams game. Kylie kind of makes a good point. Sorensen trying to contain Puka and Kupp has me nervous. What are your thoughts on this comment?
Well, I think it's the key to the game. I mean, we got to stop the run, because if we let them establish the run, then Matt Stafford has carte blanche to dink and dunk with the play action, and we're going to be on the couch. Like, that's where we're going to end up. I think it's you know, it's a division game. It's not going to be like Buffalo where it's big old shootout and it's going to be the highest scoring game of the season or ever. I think it's going to be a much harder game for the Rams, just like it is. It's going to be a tough game for us too, but I think we know enough about them to not allow them to do what they did against Buffalo. But we absolutely cannot allow Puka Nacua to have whatever it was, 168 yards rushing. That just opens up everything for them to just shred us like we've seen already a couple times this year. Green Bay was one. I mean, I really don't know if the Buffalo game counts because it was in the snow, the weather, whatever. Although they played in the same snow, but I think this is a little different. I think that's kind of the key. We have to stop that run game.
Ty, what do you think?
Yeah, the Rams want to run the ball first, and our first priority should be stop the run. Just like it was Sunday, just like it used to be in the past. Stop the run, then you have some fun, right? Stop the run, then you can go after the quarterback. That's the way it should be. Stopping them two, I don't think you really stop them. You just hope to minimize them.
Yes.
Because Sean Payton runs so much dink and dunk that you look up and they'll have, 10 catches apiece, and you're like, how'd they do that? And it's because, like, they'll come out with 5 wide receivers out, They'll send 4 deep and have Cooper Kupp standing on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And he'll just catch a quick dunk pass and goes up the field for 5, 6 yards, 7 yards, whatever. And they'll do that all game with both of them. That's just what he does. So I think Sorensen has to just be smart in his coverages. Don't play too loose, which he's been known to do this season. And, make sure guys rally up and tackle because they're both like big and can break tackles. Like they're trying to be the new Yak Bros.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got to come and gang tackle and get after it.
You can't forget they have Tutu Atwell too.
And Kyron Williams had a great game last week too.
Yeah, Kyron's a good back. So we got to worry about stopping him in the run game. Stop him. And if we can make them one-dimensional, we'll be on to something.
We'll be on to something. You're right. To me, that's kind of key. Is really that's a big deal.
Yes, Stephen Mustafa is out.
Yep.
That and special teams. Like, my God, we cannot let them block punts and run something back for touchdowns. Moody has to make kicks. We have to have great, returns. Like, just stop it already with the special teams. What was the first game was 3 points. So it came down to special teams winning a football.
Came down to the offense.
Well, it did.
It completely disappeared. Just as something we talked about earlier. They completely disappeared.
Oh.
And it's like, why? Where'd you go? All of a sudden, you can't move the ball. You can't score the ball. Guys are dropping passes. What is going on?
Well,
if we continued to execute, we would have been fine.
And we didn't have George Kittle the first game either. I think they're going to really try to shut down the George Kittle, Juwan Jennings thing, which I think really leaves a lifeline to Isaac Orendo and Ricky Pearsall and some other guys. They're going to absolutely try to shutter George because he will eviscerate them, and I think they know that. So I think that's what they're looking at is like they have to do that to win, and we have to make sure they don't.
Well,
Alberto says, let's take advantage of the Rams secondary.
Yeah, it is weak, and you hit the nail on the head, Rebecca. Part of the reason why I think our offense just kind of disappeared that first game, we didn't have all our weapons.
We didn't, and
they kind of adjusted, and it's like, all right, all of a sudden we got Ronnie Bell and Chris Conley on the field, and
people who don't know the system well, and all our starters are out. So we didn't have a CMC. Now we've got guys who are walking around with some swagger, like JJ and Ricky Pearsall. He's no slouch. He's out there catching balls, and JJ
Ricky can get open. Exactly. So you think about that. In the first game, all we had was Juwan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk. Right. Now we're coming to the table with Jennings, Debo, George Kittle.
Not in his best.
We got weapons. Ricky P. We got weapons now.
We've got people who are playing football. We got Hufunga back. We've got some guys that know the system so well and can really, really dial it up. And I think the Rams aren't playing the same 49er team they played early in the season, and I think we're favored. I mean, we're like a 3-point favorite because I guess we're home. So they're looking at this as an even Steven match, basically, which after what they did last week with Buffalo, I'm thinking that's advantage us. I mean, good for us.
And
shake
and
the
remember,
dirt.
The first game, we were in control up until the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then, everything just imploded on all 3 phases. But we had that game in hand, and then whatever could go wrong did go wrong. Yeah. That's why I'm encouraged by what I saw on Sunday when we
Right.
played strong for 60 minutes.
We did.
Right? There was no letdown. There was no drop off. It was strong for 60 minutes. We
And
finished strong.
And
That's
this
what we
is
have to do
without
at home.
big time guys in the lineup. Like how many starters were out in that game? And when you think about it, too, we didn't have a ton of penalties. We had some penalties. There were penalties on both sides, but it wasn't one of those games where people are just doing dumb stuff that is progressing, giving away the game, like big pass interferences and lining up in the neutral zone and just letting them have basically a free touchdown. We didn't really see that against the Bears. We saw what I thought was like, yeah, this is what we thought we were gonna have this year. Like a continuation from last year. This looks like what we left off with, and this is where I thought we would start this year. And so it was good to see the team out there. I mean, with the third quarter, when they were starting to establish the run game and they were doing some things, I was like, we need to shut this down right now. I don't like it. They made.
I didn't panic.
What's that?
I didn't panic. That was one drive. I didn't panic.
Well, I mean, it
we gave up.
It was a couple
to that point. I'm like,
10 minutes of the third quarter. They were doing some things. And I was like, no, because if they keep this up and we don't pass. Well,
I didn't panic.
They did only.
I don't shake easily.
I was like, oh, here we go. The Titanic is starting to take on water. We've seen it before, many seasons where we're up high. The Harbaugh era, we'd run up the score in the first half and then just watch it erode all through the second half and lose on a field goal or lose in 2 minutes, inside the 2 minute mark. I was like, oh, please don't let this happen. Like, this is such a great game in the first half. So yeah, it was good to see that they made adjustments and held on, and we managed to pull out a resounding win. Not a little bit of a win, but a good one.
So Matty B's in the house. He says about special teams, make the fair catch, get off the field, let the ball bounce out of the end zone, just get off the field, make your kick and leave. Also, the red zone allergy needs to stay away again.
He's not wrong.
Have a good night, Tony.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
Have a good one, buddy.
Have a good one. Be safe out
there. King Mufasa says no Bosa. Stafford will have so much time in the pocket. Well, Nick Bosa is questionable, and they said that he was close to playing against the Bears. So it's pretty positive, going in the right direction. That hopefully he'll play against the Rams. This was to our conversation earlier about AJ Brown and Debo. We would not take on another contract like AJ Brown's.
No.
No way. No way, Jose.
That would just not happen.
Yeah. We're saving money. We're trying to keep the guys we have. Like, no way.
No
way, Jose.
We've paid Debo. We've paid Ayuk. Yeah, no, definitely not. Tony said, I think this is a monster game for Kittle in the play action game. Yeah, I agree. Now like going forward, like I think Kittle's going to be my X factor. Just going forward, because
he's never not been your X factor. What are you talking
I know, right? Let's keep it real.
No, I've chosen other X factors.
Oh, stop! Rarely ever. Good things happen when the ball's in George Kittle's hands.
George Kittle's hands. Yep, that's right.
Wah, 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 wah. You don't have another X.
I said that before you came on too. I'm like, I know I say this every show, but
yeah.
All right, so let's see. It's obviously a must-win game. Every game is the playoffs now.
Mm-hmm.
I know. David said he didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I know, right? Shocker.
Crazy, right?
David is the
It's
shocker of the whole night. Yes.
yes.
We're all
It
just
really
like,
is.
wow.
You'd never guess it. This is like the playoffs. It's like one and we're done. This Rams game, I think, obviously it was a different team. Both teams were different the first time they met. Okay. So this
Yeah.
time, they're pretty much healthy. Well, to an extent. We're getting guys back. Dre Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw's coming back.
Well, we're happy about that.
Hopefully Nick Bosa's out there. I hope they throw in D Winners in there and not Devondre Campbell, although he hasn't been playing bad.
Yeah.
I will admit that. And then Jair Brown, Talanoa Hufanga, Tashawn Gibson, Deommodore Lenoir, Charvarius Ward, Renardo Green. I think, if Sorensen calls a good game, I think that we'll be all right. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a division game. It's not playing some other, even the Buffalo game. Like, to me, that was an anomaly. But I just think like this is brass tacks kind of stuff, and everybody knows everybody so well, and it's going to be a real slobber knocker, I do believe. But we're at home, and we have all the guys back, and they know they're fighting for their lives. If they really want it, it's advantage Niners.
Ty, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking for Sorensen to call a good game. I think with just the extra juice we'll have out there on defense, with the return of Dre and Huff being back out there once again, his second game. If we get Nick Bosa out there, like I said, even just on pass rush situations, that'll help us tremendously. I just need him to make the proper calls at the proper times, right? Don't get cute. Don't try to bring Hufanga down in the box to play against Cooper Rush man to man with one hand, right? Let him be back there. With the club. Let him be back there, being the enforcer with the club. Things like that. So I think we'll be okay. And I just need Kyle to be in his bag once again. And I need these guys to be executing on a high level like they did on Sunday, because that was the big difference. They executed on an extremely high level. I mean, there was, I think, the third or fourth drive. They had a holding penalty, a false start, and then it made it like 1st and 15. And normally this season, that would immediately kill our drive.
Yeah.
We'd be behind. It'd be terrible. And it's like, geez, man, this is a time for us to take control, right? Our defense is making stops. We can go out and get more points, put this game away early, but we kill ourselves. Not this time around. We got behind 1st and 15. We hit George Kittle for a big first down, the very next play. No, I think I remember Brock got sacked, and then we hit George for a first down, something like that. So it was like, okay, we're executing now. It doesn't matter if it's 1st and 15 or whatever. We're going to pick up yards. This is the offense I like to see. So we need to keep that kind of swagger and energy and execution going.
We need to continue to stay disciplined, because we've shot ourselves in the foot with penalties before. I think this is a game. I think now this calls for Kyle Shanahan to just empty out the playbook and just call what you got. Obviously the plays that work and the stuff that you go over and stuff like that. But I know he's got some things up his sleeve, and I just think that it's now or never, really.
Well, we just hope they're extra tired from that long game they played against Buffalo. and that we're not as tired as they are, and we don't have to pull everything out of the playbook yet, that we're able to, just get the win and not have to reveal everything. Because I do think, we'd rather win in a good fashion rather than having to pull trick plays out that people haven't seen or whatever, just to get something to make it happen. So I'm hoping that we get out there and we take control and we, handle business without having to pull out the trick plays and those kind of things. That's what I'm hoping for. That we just go play like we did in Chicago and really, really just own that whole game and have control the whole time.
Well, we got to bring them out at some point.
What's that? Well, we do. But save them for the playoffs, right? The playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like, that's what we need in the playoffs. Like Juwan Jennings throwing a touchdown to CMC.
Get to the playoffs first. So by any means necessary, I'm saying we should just.
Sure. I'm hoping we don't have to break out. We don't have to bust the emergency, break in case of emergency glass against the Rams.
But I just mean, I know he's got other things in there that 100%. We obviously we haven't seen, and it would just be, kind of like
playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs.
Yeah, look, mathematically, statistically, we're still in it. But my point is, let's just handle the Rams before we have to reveal all of our cloak and dagger stuff.
Okay.
Hopefully we can just take down a divisional opponent and save that stuff for the other people who aren't so familiar with us.
Yeah. Yes, we need to take down the Lambs for sure.
100%.
So your game plan for a 49ers victory, Ty?
I'm thinking just keep it simple once again, get back to basics, establish the run, work the play action, feed George Kittle. We see what a difference maker he is. And it's like you don't have to give him the ball all the time. If you look at this past game, it was 3 targets in the first quarter, 2 targets in the second quarter. He only had 1 target in the third quarter. Look how effective he is. But you need to give him those targets throughout the game. Keep that going. So yeah, just keep that going. Get everyone involved. Like we saw Debo get his touches, Jennings got his. We even saw passes to Ricky P. Tried to hit juice up the rail. That's when the offense is at its best, when everyone is involved. So we got to keep that going. So that's what I'm looking to see.
I do not want to see Debo in the backfield.
No.
Their game plan for that.
I think that's run its course, really. I mean, unless he's back there and it's as a decoy, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But other than that, people know it's coming.
It's coming, and they're stopping the whole.
There was a play where he motioned into the backfield, and you saw the linebacker immediately run to the line of scrimmage. They were playing off, and he immediately ran up. And that lets you know that teams are keying on him, oh, he's back there, I'm coming up to go get him.
Here comes the jet sweep, and we're going to stop him on the line. Exactly. And hopefully that means we've already planned for Kittle over the middle or some other, screen pass to somebody.
Now, Kyle did use him as a decoy later in the game on that big run Garendo had.
Mm-hmm.
Debo was in the backfield with him, and he motioned him first and did the little quick handoff to Garendo, and that helped spring him. So that's the type of stuff I want to see.
Yeah, 100%.
Use him as the decoy, or put him back there, play action to him, Send him out on some wheel routes. Maybe he'll get one-on-one with a linebacker, advantage us. Do different things with him, but just put him in the backfield and hand him the ball. I think that's dead. And them days are over. This ain't 2021 anymore. Can't do it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you for sure.
Yeah.
Becca, what's your game plan for a 49ers victory?
I mean, honestly, I think it comes down to how well the defense plays and stops the run. They're going to try. They want to have the same kind of run game they had last week, where everybody's double digits and multiple players are double digit running, and we just can't allow that. Because if we do, then our day is done. We're going to be behind the 8 ball all the time. And I really think special teams is going to be important. I think this game is going to come down to a really, really low score, and we can't have any mistakes on special teams. And to me, that's where we have to be. No penalties. Like keep it clean, like we did with Chicago. Stick to that. Our offensive scheme that was successful, and we know what we do when we do it well. It works great. Kittle over the middle has been a recipe for success forever. So, lots of those. Keep our offense true to what we've been doing. Juwan Jennings is playing lights out. Ricky's stepping up. All these guys, Isaac Orendo, and next man up has worked. But I really think this is going to come down to the defense and how well they play against the run, because that's exactly what they're going to try and do. Establish the run game with Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams or right? Kyle Williams.
So, yeah.
Puka's a receiver.
Kyle Williams, whoever. Williams. And I think that's really going to be it. Like, you got to stop the run game for them, because then you make Matt Stafford go into pass mode, and then you just put pressure and we're going to be fine at that point. But that's what I think it's going to come down to.
And Jake Moody cannot shank any more kicks.
He cannot. Well, special teams. That's what I also said earlier. Like, special teams is important. Don't give up big returns and stop missing kicks for the. Don't miss anymore.
All right. So before we go, let's hand out some game balls for the Bears game. Becca, go ahead.
Mustafa and Kittle. I mean, my goodness, like you couldn't ask for more out of at least George Kittle. He had a great game. And I thought Mustafa played a really, really great game as well. And even Ben Barch coming in and stuffing the left side. I was like, oh, this is going to be ugly. How's this going to go? But he played well. And then even when he got hurt, Spencer came in and filled in. So, I mean, I guess those are probably my and Juwan Jennings. So those are my game balls.
Hi.
Ben Barch got hurt on like the second possession. He got hurt early.
Was it that early? Because I felt like it was later.
No. He got hurt early in the game.
See,
I thought it was later too.
I did too. I really felt like it was later.
Nah, he got hurt early.
It was quiet over there on the left side for a long, long time. And I was like, well, Ben Barch's playing well. So
it was quiet all game. They didn't do nothing. The whole O-line stood up.
They did.
I got a game ball for the O-line.
Yeah.
They did their thing. No one's talking about them, so that's how you know they did a good job.
Good job.
Right? They did an excellent job, so I got a game ball for them. I got a game ball for Brock Purdy. It's a darn shame we're getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Darn shame we're not signing him to an extension, and we're drafting a new quarterback. Because that Brock kid is pretty good. That hoodie you got on there, he's pretty good quarterback. Pretty good quarterback.
Yep.
Darn shame.
Irrelevant once again.
He's just not it, huh? Darn.
Definitely doesn't have it.
Definitely does not have it. And I got a game ball for Fred Warner. I saw the mic'd up. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious, but I just noticed that what he puts his body through and just hustling basically on a fractured ankle and just play after play, bang, bang, bang. Like, ooh, dude.
His little banter.
I might have shut it down, but he's awesome.
Best.
Yeah. Yeah. But the mic'd up was great. You got to watch it because he was.
Yeah.
He said he was feeling
tomorrow.
funny and goofy, and he sure was. So check it out.
Yeah. My game ball goes to Yatir Gross-Matos.
He had a great game.
Balled out.
For sure. All right. So your X factors for the Rams game, Becca, go.
My X factor for the Rams game has to be, well, if we're getting Dre Greenlaw back, I think he's going to have to be an X factor because let's welcome him with open arms and see what that brings back to the team. And I just think, clean play from everyone and Jake Moody. Special teams cannot have a bad day. They just can't.
Do you have no faith in the offense?
I have all the faith in the offense. I'm like worried about.
You said it's going to be a low scoring game. It's going to come down to special teams.
I believe
you have no faith in the offense putting up 30.
I think it's going to be a tight game. I do. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it is.
I have no faith in the offense. That's what it is.
I'm not saying I don't have faith in the offense. I'm saying that the people who are going to win the game are going to be the people who have to do their job. And, like the last time we played was the 3 points. It was a low scoring game. It wasn't 38-13. It was what, 27-24 or 24-23. I don't know. Like it was close. It was close. It was a close game.
27-24.
There you go. So yeah.
Yeah.
It was a close.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be that kind of game again. They just come off of scoring 40 whatever blah 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 points, and we're going to have to just be. I feel like it's going to be that same kind of volley kind of game, and it's going to come down to who can win in the last 2 minutes.
Leon Sandcastle says Sam O getting to start and keeping Floyd and Gross-Matos fresh to wreak havoc.
Yeah. Hey. I ain't know about that either. Rotate.
Yeah, he's going to rotate in there, but I think what we started the year with was Gross-Matos starting opposite Bosa. And, then Floyd rotated in on pass rush downs. With maybe Bosa coming in as part of a pass rush specialist package also, we might see Sam O and Gross-Matos start on the ends. And then, Floyd and Bosa come in, which I'd be very cool with. I ain't got no problem with that. But I'm going to say, sorry, to get back to your question, Jess, on,
That's okay.
the key guys. I'm going to say the offensive line because the Rams very quietly rebuilt their D-line. It's the strength of their defense. So I think our O-line has to hold up, in the run game and definitely protecting Brock because they do like to get after it. And I'm sure they'll throw some blitzes our way also. We saw in game 1, they kind of copied Minnesota's blitzes from the week prior. So who says they won't do it again, right? Just go with the same game plan. You never know. So I think the O-line has to be key in holding up. Defensively, I'm going to say, I want to say who the second safety is going to be. I'm really hoping Gibson gets out there, but it'll be his first time getting action. And even if Brown gets out there, it'll be something. So I can see them trying to attack that position specifically. So whoever that safety is opposite Huff, I think has to have a good game.
Yeah.
My X factors are Kyle Shanahan and Nick Sorensen.
Where is Kyle this week?
And
It's all about George, huh?
yes, actually, well, Kyle's on the wall.
I see him
But
back
my
there on the
stand
wall,
up,
but
yeah, I switched them out.
Yeah.
okay.
I switched them out this week.
George got his touches, so you know.
He did.
Yeah.
George
got to put him back there.
today.
And I figured, you know, like George is here, Kyle's on the wall, I got Brock on my shirt, I'm covering everybody.
You
So
got all
There you go. You got the offense covered. There you go.
that's right. I got CMC back there, the
Uh-huh.
autograph football, yeah. So but yeah, and you know, and it's important, you know, Kyle Shanahan and Nick Sorensen to call great games, but Ty says this every week that the players have to execute. And it's definitely all about the execution. So, you know, both sides of the ball, actually the three phases are going to be the X factors in this game for sure. All right, guys. Well, that does it for us. Shout out to the chat. You guys were amazing as always. Yeah, let's go to that 2-minute warning. Okay, Ty.
Hey, Thursday night football. It's fun and exciting. I'm not giving up till it's over. And I don't think anyone should either. Like, let's be faithful. Like the Niners faithful, established 1946. Let's support the team. Let's have fun doing it. It's very exciting to see us chase it. Like really with our backs against the wall and chase it. So let's be faithful and give it all we got and go Niners.
We're still in this thing. We're still alive. Be faithful. Enjoy the game. Again, shout out to the chat. As always, go Niners.
We're at home. It's the Rams. It's our house, not their house, and their house is our house too. But yeah, I mean, lock in and do your job. No penalties. Everybody perform at the highest level like we have been. And this is our game. One game at a time, and we're still in it. So let's not lose faith. Let's shake the dirt. No bad juju. Everyone do what you're supposed to. And we'll take the dub. Let's do it again. It was fun watching last week. Let's have another good week this week. Thursday night football. Go Niners.
Let's get the dub. Go Niners. See you next week.
And thank you, faithful viewer.
And of course, for the upstart 49ers, they're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.